Hey, darlings. I hope September is being kind to you. I hope September has come with favor. I hope your September is peaceful. And I hope your September is filled with joy and laughter. So far, guys, so good. I believe that this is a month of transformation. This is a month of transition into God's abundance. And I just want to begin by inviting you to accept Christ if you haven't yet, because guys, this is the best. That is the best decision that you could ever make for your life, okay? So if you haven't accepted Christ and if you don't know who he is, I just want you today to open up your heart and ask him to just reveal himself to you. Ask him to change you, ask him to transform you, guys, and your lives will never, ever be the same again. Okay? So today, I just felt in my heart that I should speak on this topic that has been lingering in my heart. Guys, I know that it's not only me. I know that there's so many of us who are going through so much and we feel like we're alone. But today, I just want to encourage you and tell you that you're not alone. Trust me. There are so many of us in this bus. Okay, guys? But I'm just hoping that it takes us to the right destination. I hope that in our journey, we encounter joy, we encounter love, and we encounter peace. All right? So, the topic that I want to talk to you today about is the heart. I want you to just pause and ask yourself this question. What is the posture of my heart? How is my heart? Take a minute and just ask yourself, search within and ask yourself, am I carrying anger? Am I carrying bitterness? Am I carrying unforgiveness? Am I carrying pain? Is my heart broken? Am I carrying worry? Am I carrying fear? What is the posture of your heart? And guys, just to tell you a little story, I come from a place where my heart was very hard. It was so stiff, it was so hardened. It was so hard for me to even receive love from outside. It was hard for me to receive joy. You know that point in your life where you see other people happy and smiling and you're just there and you're like, what are these people happy? What are they smiling about? You know, the sun is out, but you're not enjoying it. You're just like, what is this light? You know, and that's a horrible place to be at. And I just searched within and I asked myself, why am I like this? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I carrying so much? And I realized, guys, it was because I had come from so much pain. I was suffering heartbreak after heartbreak. Like every single year, I would be heartbroken, guys. Like my heart, it's like I conditioned my heart to just feel all the negatives and I created a barrier for the positives. And so I didn't want to continue being like this. I wanted to be better. And I just asked God. I prayed. I asked God, Father, please change me. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to have such a heavy heart. I don't want to have a hardened heart. I don't want my heart to be stiff. I want my heart to be soft. I want my heart to not be a heart of stone, but a heart of flesh. I ask God to just change me. And guys, God, He is so merciful. He heard me. He heard me, and I feel like some things were revealed to me. I feel like something in me was just asking me to let go of all these things that were crowding my heart. And then I kept I kept being reminded of this verse, Isaiah 43, correct me if I'm wrong, but it says, forget the former things, do not dwell in the past. See, I am doing a new thing. And now the problem is, guys, I couldn't see that God was doing a new thing because my heart was hardened. The posture of my heart was weak. The posture of my heart was not upright. My heart was broken. My soul, guys, my soul was broken. And I know that there's someone out there whose soul is broken. I know that your heart is broken. And I know that it is so, so hard for you to receive love. It's hard for you to enjoy the good things of life. You just feel like you're in a dark place. You're alone and it's empty. And it's just really bad there, guys. And I know that so many of you have been there. So many of you have gone through this. But today, I just want to remind you, ask yourself, how is my heart? And if you realize that your heart is heavy, let God carry that load for you. Release it unto God. Release that anger. Release that pain. Release that envy. Release that fear, that worry, that disappointment, that mistake that you made. Release it. Release it to God and allow Him to just walk in you. Allow Him to fill you with a spirit of love, spirit of power, the spirit of a sound mind, the spirit of peace. Ask God to give you rest. Ask God to give you sleep. Ask God to calm your mind so that you can stop overthinking and overanalyzing. Ask God to just lead the way for you. God is a faithful God. He is a merciful God. And let me tell you something, guys. God is so merciful. He's so merciful. He doesn't even get tired of showing you grace and mercy because He loves you and you're His child. There's this book I read in the Bible. I believe it was Judges. I read it a couple of months ago. And it was really funny to me because as I was reading this book, I realized that the Israelites were really disturbing God, but God wasn't giving up on them. Like, God was raising up somebody to save them, but then they were still going back to sin. So it was a back and forth. It was a series of God helping them and they go back to sin. God helping them, then they go back to sin. And I related with it so much. And I thought about my life and I was like the Israelites. I, oh my God, guys, I was like the Israelites. God was warning me against things, but I wasn't listening. I was just going back to sin and He was saving me and I was going back to sin and that series of just sorry a series of back and forth. But God is so merciful. He never once gave up on me because He knew that there's a time and there's a day and there's a season for me to open up my heart to receive Him. And I did, guys. I opened up my heart and I received God, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I found it hard at first to connect with God because I would see people, like, for example, when I went to church, I would see the praise and worship and they were just so happy. And then I would see people praying and falling on the ground. Others were shouting and jumping. Others were deep in prayer. And I was like, what is happening? Because I was saved, but I really didn't understand what was going on. But then, I don't know, something in my heart told me that the reason why you can't understand, the reason why you're finding it hard to connect with God is because your heart is hardened. It's because the posture of your heart is not upright. It's because you're suffering heartbreak. And guys, I just wanted to be better. And I told myself that I needed to change, and I asked God for His help, and He helped me for sure. He helped me because God started working in me, and He lifted this hard thing that used to choke me in my heart. I don't know what that was, but He lifted it. And I got to a point in my life where I felt like my heart was starting to get softer and softer. And I realized that the softer my heart was getting, the more I was able to connect with God. So, guys, darlings, don't let your soul, don't let your heart be a barrier. Don't let it be the thing that is stopping you from enjoying God's love and God's fullness. Okay? Don't let it be that thing that weighs you down. Don't let it be that thing that keeps you stuck in one place. Because, guys, there are seasons in life. There's a time to cry, there's a time to be happy, there's a season for sadness, a season for joy. But since you're carrying all these things in your heart, you're not moving. You're not moving because you're stuck in a season of sadness. Because your heart is stuck, it is broken, and therefore it cannot function. So again, ask yourself, what is the posture of my heart? Once you fix that, once you heal, once your heart becomes whole again, you'll realize that you've been missing out on so much. You'll realize that God loves you so much, and you'll connect with Him in a way that you've never connected with Him before. And that, guys, that is my prayer for anybody. Anyone who feels like they're going through the worst time in their life, I just want to encourage you today and tell you that it gets better. Guys, there's a whole other side to this. There's a whole other side. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I used to hear that saying, and I used to be like, but I'm not even in the tunnel. So what are you saying to me, But then I just sat down with myself and told myself, I am in that tunnel, and I was in the dark, but I decided to try. I tried God, and I was able to see the light. And even if I'm not seeing like a full light, at least I can see something now. Okay? And guys, I just want to encourage you today to just let go. Let go of that jealousy. Stop comparing yourself to that person. Just sit down with yourself and ask yourself, how is my heart? And if you can, write down everything. And if you find any positive things, then make sure you build on those positive things. And if you find any negative things, make sure you work on those negative things. Because once your heart is free, you'll be able to connect to God very easily. And the quality of your life is going to change for the better. Okay, guys? And if you feel like God has forgotten you, it's not true. God has not forgotten you. If you feel like God is taking so long, let me encourage you today that God, when you feel like God is taking too long, it means He's working on something big, something that will blow your mind, something that you never even expected. So just be patient and wait on Him. Okay, guys? So yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. And let me just remind you again, ask yourself, how is my heart? Okay? So this is my third video. If you liked it, you can give me a thumbs up, you can subscribe, you can share, and just show me love, okay? But above all, show God love. And also just show those people that need encouragement today. Show them love, all right? Let us just spread this love because so many people are going through so much. All right, guys? Anyways, happy September. Bye, darlings.